What is up, Texas hockey fans, and welcome back to Clean Sheet of Ice. It is a solo pod today. It is Wednesday morning at 6:18 a.m. Went to the game last night. Stars lose 5-1 against Columbus, but we'll get into that, all the things that go with it. Right now on Clean Sheet of Ice, Texas Hockey Podcast, brought to you by Zing Zang, America's #1 Bloody Mary mix. We love Zing Zang over here. Zang responsibly all season long with Zing Zang, America's #1 Bloody Mary mix. Stars are on a 3-game losing streak. They lose to Columbus 5-1 in what was kind of a close game, but kind of just a one-sided battle. The entire time in the press box did not have a lot of fun. 3-game losing streaks are never fun. That happened like once with Pete DeBoer over the last 3 years, but obviously that didn't lead into a Stanley Cup final appearance or a title. So, we can change some things. If we're going to do this and we end up winning the cup, then why does it matter? At the end of the day, why does a 3-game losing streak matter? Because it doesn't. It doesn't really at the end of the day. They're 500. They're 3-3. There's not a lot of things that don't seem fixable. That's what a lot of the guys have said. Like goalie, Colin Blackwell, Tyler Seguin, they're all saying that, like, hey, they just need to play their game and they need to play it correctly. They're not playing it correctly right now. They need to have their swagger back, their identity, and all that kind of stuff with it. It's all fixable things. So that's kind of how it is. Like the score sheet may say 5-1. It was 2-1, 3-1 kind of battle. I don't think the score reflects kind of how close that game was and how bad the Stars were playing in comparison to the Blue Jackets, and they were still kind of in it. At one point, it was 2-1 in the second period. They went down 2-0 in the first period, and it was bad. It was two just goals that shouldn't have happened, and I don't think it was on Otter. Like he got screened and just in bad positions from the defense. Two tough goals, and one of them was a power play. It was a wide open net. The second one was, and it was a cross crease pass. There should be a defender right there in front of the net. There was. Puck was not played by the defender. Got right over to the Columbus Blue Jacket, and he kicked it in. Kind of. He guided it in with his foot. I know a lot of people were upset about this. It wasn't a kick. Just it was guided. And that the rule is interpreted differently by different referees. I don't think it was a kick. Kind of looks like it on slow-mo and everything. He looks like he does the kicking motion right as the puck hits his skate. I get it. It's not a kick. All right. It's just not a kick. If Petrovic's goal in the playoffs last year wasn't a kick, that was definitely not a kick. However, we've learned that bicycle kicks are allowed to kick pucks in, is what we learned against Colorado Avalanche in the playoffs last season. But it is what it is. You're down 2-0. Tyler Seguin then gets you within 1 in the second period, and you're feeling a little bit better. That was a good sequence. Seguin played really well. I thought Wyatt Johnston and Mikko Rantanen played really well. So Tyler Seguin gets you on the board on a little kind of tap-in thing, backdoor, and gets the crowd back into it. And that is one thing I wanted to talk about. It was a Tuesday night. I get it, but it was a 7 o'clock game. It was an early game in comparison to what Thursday is going to be at 8 p.m. against the LA Kings. Crowd was not really good. The 300 level was really good with the Stars chant at the anthem and everything, but there was just not a lot of energy right as puck dropped. It was just silent as opposed to like the first game or two at AAC this year. It was loud and rambunctious for the first minute or two, or even if nothing was happening during the play at all, but people were just excited to be there. Didn't seem like anyone was excited to be there last night. The crowd was not full. I know they probably sold out the tickets last night, but the crowd was not full. No one really came. It wasn't full enough for my liking, and it was definitely not loud enough for my liking in the first period. And the Blue Jackets just kind of had their way with it. There was no energy in the crowd. Glenn is very big on energy, Gulletson, and there was no energy in the crowd. So that's something they got to fix. But you get to 2-1 and you're feeling like, all right, if we could just get another goal, then send this to overtime. You got a point. You didn't play well. Defense is hurting. Everyone looks a little tired. I'm not going to say that they played lazily last night. It's just it wasn't clean hockey. And I don't think it was lazy. I think it wasn't clean. And I don't think they were playing their game specifically. So on a 3-game losing skid, how do the Stars stop it? There's 3 fixable things that they can do. 3 fixable things that the Stars can do to stop losing right now. And it's only 3 games, and it's 6 games into the season. So there's no need to panic. Everyone needs to calm down. Everyone just needs to chill out. It's fixable. Everything is very fixable. And that's what Golatin said. That's what Colin Blackwell said. That's what Miro has said. That's what Tyler said last night. Everyone is on the same page. These are all fixable things to do. They just have to fix them sooner rather than later, because you don't want to lose 5, 6, 7 in a row early in the season. Then you're sitting at 3-7. And then you got to dig your way out of a hole, because at the end of the day, we're in the Central Division. Early in the season matters. Late in the season matters. Every single game matters in the Central Division. So 3 fixable things that the Stars can do to stop this losing skid. When to play just Dallas Stars hockey. Passing. It may seem stupid. It may seem simple. But their passing the last 3 games has not been good. In practice, they're crispy. They get those cross-ice passes. Jason Robertson and Mikko Rantanen, like that power play goal we saw against Vancouver. We saw that a lot in practice. We haven't seen that a lot over the last few games. Like, there's been ample opportunities where you had a 2-on-1 and they decide to pass it, whoever it is with the puck. They try to get it over, and there's a defender there, and they just miss the pass. Or they got a 3-on-2 and they decide to pass instead of just kind of driving towards the net and seeing what happens when you create a little bit of chaos. But even getting out of the defensive zone, even getting through the blue line, the passing has just been off the mark by inches, I would say. And it's led to a massive amount of turnovers. And that's something that Glenn Golatin mentioned in his press conference last night after the game against Columbus, is that it doesn't matter what era of hockey you played in, the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, today, yesterday, whenever. If you have more turnovers and you are allowing breakaways, you're going to lose games. That is how it works. If you are lower on the turnover totem pole, you're going to lose games. Like, if you just turn the puck over all the time, you're going to lose. It doesn't matter what era you played in. It doesn't matter who you're playing. It doesn't matter how good your roster is. If you have more turnovers, you should probably lose, because that's just an indication of not playing well. And goalies, I think he was a little bit frustrated last night after that game. I haven't seen him break or anything like that. It's just, it seemed a little bit different than it has in the past. I think he's not exasperated, but he's just like, guys, we've been saying the same thing for 3 games now. Can we fix it? Passing has to be better. Turnovers have to be better. Getting out of the defensive zone has to be better. All of that has to deal with passing. He mentioned in Morning's Gate, goalie did, that they need to take away options on the offensive, like when they get the puck in the defensive end, like they need to stop giving the defenseman so many options of where to send that puck, because then he pauses and he has to think a little bit more, and then he has to send the puck wherever he decides to send the puck, and that kind of closes the defense in, and then all of a sudden you're still in your own zone and you're back on defense because he turned the puck over again. So they got to clean that up in the defensive end, getting it out of the zone, getting it through the blue lines, and then they've got to have better passing in the offensive zone, because if you have Mikko Rantanen, Jason Robertson, and Roope Hintz, Wyatt Johnston, Tyler Seguin, all these guys not making passes the way that they need to, or not completing the passes, and it leads to a turnover and then a breakaway on the other end, it's going to be really hard to fix these things. Or it's going to be really hard to win games. It's not hard to fix this. Like, just be better at passing. And I realize from my chair and from the press box that it seems a lot easier than it is. I know it's harder, but passing is a big deal. Turnovers are a big deal right now. The next thing of the 3 fixable things is defensive miscues on flipped pucks. Did a little bit of deep dive. It seems like every breakaway has been on a flipped puck from the D zone into over the blue line or right at the blue line for the opposing teams. I don't know why the puck luck has just gone completely the other way. Not that the Stars had great puck luck last year during the playoffs or in the last 7 games of the regular season, but flip pucks, it shouldn't be like a 90% rate where they get a really good chance out of it, where it turns into an offensive possession, or they get a breakaway off of it. I don't know how it keeps happening. I have no idea. We've seen several breakaways this year from a flip puck from the defensive zone into the blue lines or over the blue lines into the offensive zone. Last night, it was defended. Thomas Harley saw it, kind of batted it down with his hand, and he had 2 defensemen going backwards. The puck is now going forwards, so they're going away from the puck. There's a Columbus Blue Jacket trailing, and it just leads to a goal immediately. Thomas Harley kind of screened Otter. He had no idea the puck was coming. And it's just weird things that are happening. Like, If that just goes straight down, Thomas Harley is able to probably defend the offensive Blue Jacket and make a play on the puck or make a play on the guy so that the puck doesn't go towards the net. It looks a lot better, but somehow the puck goes forward, goes out of the reach of the first Blue Jacket. The second Blue Jacket comes trailing, and he scores. So strange, weird puck luck. I don't know what it is about flip pucks right now. And I don't know why it's always Thomas Harley on the ice when a flip puck happens, but it keeps happening over the last 3 games. It's got to be something that we got to look at. Thomas Harley looked a little, he just looked off to me last night in the defensive zone and the offensive zone. Like, he just seemed a little bit off. We saw him shaking his hand out after the game before the Blue Jackets. He took a puck to the hand and he's kind of shaking it out. And you're like, oh, no, that's not good. We can't lose Thomas Harley right now. We just lost Nils Lundqvist. We can't do this again. I don't want to do this again. And he's been dealing with the flu or sickness or whatever it is. So he just looked a little bit off. I don't expect that to last too much longer. If he can get healthy and they can stop playing a game every other day, then I think that'll help out. But Thomas Harley's just going to have to play, and he's going to have to figure out the flip pucks, because I don't know why it keeps happening that way. The flip pucks are weird. It's puck luck. I'd rather get it all out right now than we get to the playoffs in April, May, and they just start doing the flip puck play, and it works every time. So got to figure that out. The miscues on flip pucks through the blue lines is the second fixable thing. I think it's fixable. I don't know. I would assume it's fixable. I feel like it's an easy fix. It's just like track it better. I don't know. Maybe practice that in practice. Just watch the puck over and over and over again against the scoreboard. We'll see. The last fixable thing for the Dallas Stars that they need to do to stop this losing streak is crashing the net on offense. Stars did an awesome job of this in the first 3 games. We mentioned it against Colorado, where Thomas Harley flung the puck and Jason Robertson ended up scoring a tip puck. There's 3 Stars in front of the net. That meant 3 more Avalanche players were in front of the net. There's a lot of goalie screens. So it was a great tip by Jason Robertson, and it got through all the traffic, got past the goalie. It is what it is. But that's 3 bodies that turns into 6 bodies in front of a goalie that just creates chaos in front of them. They can't see. They can get really close to them. They don't have to crash them necessarily. But that's something I haven't seen in the last 3 games as much, is that they're kind of playing perimeter based, especially on the power play. We saw it last night where he kept the power play out for the full 2 minutes with the top unit. It was tough. Very perimeter, very Pete DeBoer-like, very perimeter-like. Mikko Rantanen, Miro Heiskanen, and Jason Robertson just going in a half circle, back to each other, back to each other, back to each other. It was interesting because there was no open lanes. Columbus did a great job of creating only the perimeter being available for the Stars, and they weren't able to get to the front of the net, but somebody's got to crash the front of the net. Wyatt Johnston, Jason Robertson, whoever it is, someone's got to get down there and just create a little bit of chaos, and then someone's got to fling the puck. And I know Miro Heiskanen, that's kind of something that we've talked about, is that he doesn't do that as often as Thomas Harley does, but Thomas Harley's obviously sick, maybe hurting a little bit. I'm okay with him not being on the power play right now, just because he needs a little bit of rest. We gotta figure that out. But crashing the net on offense is a must. We saw that was really good with Joe Pavelski when he was with the Stars. But right now you're down Jamie Benn. Now you're down Matt Duchene. So you're losing one of your puck battle guys in front of the net, and you're losing a perimeter guy with Matt Duchene right now. It's a little tough with the injuries. It's a little tough with the personnel that you have now, because Mikko Rantanen, Jason Robertson, Wyatt Johnston, Roope Hintz, Miro Heiskanen, all these guys are really good at being out on the perimeter. But I believe Wyatt and Mikko are really good in front of the net as well. So you just got to see that a little bit more. And like Tyler Shagan's goal last night, he's crashing the net. He goes down there. It's a backdoor pass, but he crashed the net regardless. So we saw some chaos in the preseason, like Ernie and some of the guys that when you crash the net, good things happen. They haven't really done that the last 3 games. I think that's a fixable thing, is just going towards the net again and being more aggressive on offense, flinging pucks toward the net with bodies in front of the net and seeing what happens. Because if you just do that, odds are you're going to get at least 1 more goal a game or a lot more looks per game. Getting hard stops on the goalie, like making them work a lot more, that's important in a game. So crashing the net on offense. Stars did a great job of this the first 3 games. They have not done that a lot the last 3 games during their 3-game losing streak. I'm just saying, crash the net, have better passing, and then figure out the flip puck play. It's like a flea flicker. I don't understand it. I don't know why it keeps working. But those are the three fixable things that the Stars can do to stop their losing streak right now. Stars lose 5-1 against the Columbus Blue Jackets. They play LA on Thursday at 8 p.m. It's going to be a late night. And then we got Carolina at home on Saturday during college football. It's going to be a chaotic week. You've got a lot of home games this month. You need to start capitalizing on the home games, especially because when you go on the road, it's really tough. It's tough to play out there. So the Stars are really good at home last year. The last 3 years, they've been awesome at home. Can they continue that trend? We'll have to wait and see. I hope that they do. I hope that the fans show up for the boys. I hope they show up in loud and they're full and they're wearing victory green and they're having a lot of fun responsibly with Zing Zang, obviously. Zang responsibly all season long with the Dallas Stars and Zing Zang. Just show up on Thursday night. Be there for the boys. It's a Thursday night. LA Kings. It's a Western Conference matchup. Like, let's go get a win. Stop the skid. Stop the panics. Everybody's got to stop panicking. It's been 6 games. Everybody in the room knows what they need to do. Everyone knows how to fix it. It's just a matter of whether they do it or not. And we're going to see on Thursday night against the LA Kings. I just want to stop the losing skid so we can have fun on this podcast again. But we'll be back on Friday. May or may not be with Savannah. Savannah is in California this week. I think she leaves today. So she may be on the pod. Dom may be on the pod. I don't know. Maybe a solo pod. We'll have to wait and see. But we'll be back on Friday with another episode of Clean Sheet of Ice, the Texas Hockey Podcast. Shout out to Zing Zang, America's #1 Bloody Mary mix. We love Zing Zang. Zang responsibly all season long with them. Shout out to you for listening. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button wherever you get Clean Sheet of Ice, Texas Hockey Podcast on podcast networks like Apple, Spotify. We're also streaming on Spotify now. So if you want to watch the video there, the video will be on Spotify as well as our YouTube at Apollo HOU. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We love you guys. We'll be back with another episode of Clean Sheet of Ice, Texas Hockey Podcast very soon.